Welcome to Got Grass, conversations with the legends and leaders of bluegrass. You've enjoyed live bluegrass at Guitar Town CT concerts in Hamden, Connecticut since 2008. From Tony Rice, Rouse Stanley, and Doyle Lawson to Tim O'Brien, Sierra Hall, and Billy Strings. Now you can go behind the scenes as we chat with your favorite bluegrass stars. I'm your podcast host, Chris Worth. So I have two lovely guests on Got Grass today, Soraya Sullivan and Luciya Sullivan, Sullivan Sisters from Chicago area. That's right?
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks
hello.
so much for having us.
Yes, great. I went over the fact that your names come. I thought they might be Persian or Arabic, but they're Persian origin.
They are, yes. Our
Yeah.
grandma is Iranian, so from that, yeah.
Yeah, my best friend here in New Haven is an Iranian guy, Imad, and he's from Iran. He's been here a long time, but yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So my first question usually is to ask people, what is a perfect day off like, if there is such a thing for you, without instruments around,
God.
away from music, if it ever happens.
Our perfect day off would be finding the closest creek and jumping in it.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Waterfall, short hike to a waterfall.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're big hiking
Yeah.
people. We love, just anything outdoors.
Camping, being
Yes.
outside, and then maybe getting like an iced coffee on the way back after the hike.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So you grew up in North Carolina, correct?
We did, yes.
So would it be creek or crick, or it would be creek, right? Even there?
Say creek, yeah.
It's creek, yeah. Do you retain any of your North Carolina accent from? I know you didn't live there all that long, but you're changed over to like Midwestern speak now.
Yeah, we never really
Yeah.
had accents. A lot of people in the specific town we were in didn't have super strong accents, but I always wished that I had lived with some kind of
I know.
slight accent.
Me
but
too.
Never did.
We kind of do when we're singing, but
Kind of a little
like
bit.
a little. You can hear it more when we're singing than when we're talking, which is probably because that's where we learned to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sound, but
that makes
that's
sense.
not much.
I mean, it is. I guess if you're playing and singing bluegrass, it is nice to have a little bit of that, like North Carolina, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
in there. But that's. So I want to congratulate both of you for being in the Bluegrass Unlimited Magazine in August.
Oh, thank you
That
so
was
much.
that's quite a coup. How did you manage that? Because everybody tries to get in there. I've tried to get my podcast in there. I haven't been able to yet, or my concert series. So how did you manage to? You have connections.
Our label did it for us. Stephen Mougin runs all of the media at our label, and
Yeah.
she's amazing, and she is so good with that. So since we signed with Dark Shadow back in September, there have been a lot of things like that where it's just stuff that we would have never been able to get on our own at this stage. But with her and Stephen's help, it's just really furthered our career a lot.
Yeah,
which has
they've been so
nice.
helpful. It's been really great working with them. So.
Yeah. So he's on the cover.
He is.
He's
Yeah,
on the
didn't know
cover.
that until we got it, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Stephen!"
Yeah.
The whole crew is in that magazine. That's very, very impressive. Congratulations.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
I just want to encourage all my listeners to read that magazine. It's a great, great magazine, Bluegrass Unlimited Magazine. You should get it and read it in paper. Sit down and read it with your tea or your bourbon, and it's a fascinating magazine. It really covers a lot of young artists like you guys and veteran artists and the whole gamut of bluegrass. So I encourage people to buy it and read it. I've heard your music on Alison Brown's show and series, Pick Like a Girl.
Mhm.
Do you guys know Alison?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're big fans.
She's awesome.
Okay.
Love her.
Yes.
Yeah, she's she plays great stuff, and I've heard your stuff there, but this article really caught my attention. I said, whoa, I've got to find out who these people are and talk to them, and maybe someday get you guys to come play up here in a
You'd love to.
concert.
Hey,
Yeah, we would
that
love
would be
to.
awesome.
At school and stuff, but someday we're going to get you up here. So you guys live outside of Chicago in Evanston, is that correct?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you just played in my nephew's hometown of Naperville. Is that right?
Yeah, we did a farmer's market show there.
Mhm.
We've been duo shows all week before we go off to college. So that's been a
Gotcha.
lot of fun. But it was the day of a massive storm. So we were driving down there to Naperville, and there were just
Oh.
trees down everywhere, and it was crazy to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you actually get to play, or was it rained out?
We did, thankfully.
It ended up being a pretty small market. A lot of the vendors couldn't even make it because of the weather, but
Yeah.
for us,
Better
we
than
had fun.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my nephew and his family went. I think he would, because I said to him, try to go and report back to me on the Sullivan Sisters, and he said, I will try to go, but I haven't heard back. So
Oh,
somehow I think he didn't make it.
it happens.
So in reading about you guys, I understand that you're come from a family of professional players, musicians. I was
Mhm.
listening to some. I don't know really what your mom does that much, but I know your father is a well-known saxophonist, professor. They play some pretty wild music in that band of his.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
do.
really do.
Very contemporary.
We hear a lot
Yay.
of it from our basement very late at night.
Ah, so you grew up hearing that sort of music, right?
Yeah.
Saxophone is just the sound of our childhood at this point.
Yeah, yeah. And how about your mom? What does she play or did play? Does she?
Also plays saxophone.
Yeah, they were classical saxophonists
Wow.
that were major in college together. That's how our parents met. But now she does a lot of environmental work here in Evanston, and she ran for a long
Uh,
time at the plant nursery here.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you grew up hearing a lot of saxophones.
Yes,
That's
we did.
that's unusual. That's cool. I mean, I love the saxophone. I'm more of a jazz guy growing up, so I was listening to more jazz sax playing. But the stuff that your dad plays, the contemporary stuff, is I listened to a bunch of it on YouTube. It's some of it's pretty out there.
Yes.
It's
yes,
it's
very
fascinating, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys started out playing, I assume, reading music and taking maybe classical lessons on your instruments, or no?
Not really. We started playing bluegrass when she was 6 and I was 8. We did piano lessons for like a couple months before that, but
yeah.
neither of us liked that. So
Yeah.
we started on banjo and guitar very young, and
Yeah.
right away on bluegrass. We met this family that had some girls a couple years older than us that played bluegrass, and we thought that they were really cool. So we found their teacher, Ralph McGee, in North Carolina, and started taking lessons from him at that age.
Yeah. She tried to do classical guitar for a second and just didn't like it at all.
I
so
tried the Suzuki method. My teacher had me playing Mary Had a Little Lamb for a month straight. After that, in 1 month, I switched over to bluegrass.
because at the same time, I was over here learning Foggy Mountain Breakdown and everything, and she got jealous. So she switched over.
Couldn't let her
Yeah,
have
which one's a little more fun, I would say. That's a pretty easy choice. So, are there videos out of you two playing as children, like duets of you playing and singing anywhere? Have you seen anything?
out that I know of, but we have some.
Yeah, we were actually just going through really old videos last night, and we found some cute ones of us playing when we were little. They might end up on our social media stories in a couple days. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Some of them were very adorable, but we haven't posted
Yeah.
any of them. No.
So when you look at those, so is cute is the word that comes to mind, or yeah?
Yes.
Because you were pretty young, right? You were
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10, in those ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you both were playing. You were playing guitar and you were playing banjo even back then. That was your thing.
Yeah, it's always been the same instruments.
Yeah. So I understand that Soraya, right? Soraya. I want to keep saying Soraya. Soraya, you've been going to Berklee. You're at Berklee, and you were also going to Berklee this fall as a first year or second year.
I'll actually be leaving tomorrow to move in. So yes.
Yeah. I'll be starting my junior year at Berklee.
Okay.
Freshman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So will you guys be living together, or you have your separate lives up there, kind of?
I'll be living with one of my other friends that I met through IBMA, so I'm very excited about that.
She'll be in the dorms this year, and I have an apartment that I like, so I'm gonna stay in my apartment while she suffers through the dorms for at least a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty common in college. They put you up for a year, then you're kind of out there in the apartment world, right?
Yeah. You need the dorm experience at least once.
It builds character.
Yeah.
I lived with a friend of mine who went to Berklee a long time ago. We lived on Symphony Road in a really, it was a pretty tacky area when we were there. This is a long time ago. There were like drunks passed out and a lot of dog crap everywhere. It was pretty bad back then. It hasn't changed.
Oh gosh.
No. Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was all like.
I hope it's a little better.
There are good spots and bad spots. I'm lucky my apartment is on a good spot, but I know lots of people who are in basically that exact situation you just mentioned.
Yeah. I guess you I guess you kind of have to take what's out there. And there's probably a lot more students than there are nice apartments in Boston. I mean, I know my middle daughter went to school in Boston. It's full of students.
Oh yeah, it's a
Uh,
fun time. Yeah.
it's a fun town. So, what has Berklee School of Music been like for you? I guess it's a lot of bluegrass people have gone there. A lot of bluegrass people that have played here or been on my podcast have gone there. I think of the band Mile 12 a lot because they kind of all were Boston based and they played here a lot before they got famous at our series. In the
Awesome.
backyard, and I think they even slept over our house a few times and
Oh, that's great.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like in Berkeley?
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a really cool place to be. There's just, yeah, the bluegrass scene is really big there right now, which has been
Hmm.
really fun to see. So there's a ton of people my age to play with and jam with. And then outside of bluegrass, it's just so cool to be around so many different musicians who are just all
Hmm.
so passionate about what they do. So it's a very inspiring place to be.
Yeah. How well you don't live in Chicago, right? You're kind of in the suburbs of Chicago now. You're not like in the city, yeah. I was going to ask you how is Boston different but Boston's quite a different city from Chicago, a lot smaller.
Yeah, I personally like it more than Chicago, just
Yeah.
because I'm not a huge city person, so it feels like a much more manageable place to be. It's so walkable, which I really love. Like you can walk the whole city in about an hour and a half, which I think
Hmm.
is really cool. So it's been fun to explore.
Yeah. So, Lucia, so are you going there because your sister's there or because you just want to go there, love the school, or both?
Well, definitely a little bit of both, but it's always been my dream school. I've always wanted to
Oh,
go there, for so many years now. I've just heard of so many of the banjo players that I really love having gone to Berklee and having loved it, and so many people that I am inspired by have gone there. So it just seems like a really good place, and I know a ton of great banjo players that are there right now that I'm really excited to be surrounded by. So it's just going to be a really fun place, and having her there definitely won't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's nice you guys get along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we get
I guess
along.
I
Yeah.
guess you'd have to be doing all the stuff you're doing together, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we don't fight too much.
No,
Only about
really.
stupid stuff.
Yeah, we never like seriously fight.
Yeah.
We always say that it's like a sister fluke or something because we like actually like each other.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
nice.
that. That's nice. So, who are these banjo people that you admire?
Yeah,
Any-
well, they got some great banjo players there right now. Greg List is their professor, and I really
Mhm.
love what he does. It's very definitely not bluegrass, but it's really cool, and he's doing some really cool stuff. They've got some great players there right now, like Micah, Phillip, and Carson Moore and Stuart Warner. They've just got some really great banjo players that I'm
Mhm.
hoping to, learn a little bit from all of them. So yeah.
So, growing up playing the banjo, who was your banjo hero? Did you have one?
Um, Gosh, I had a lot, but I don't know. I really love Noam Pikelny, Ron Block. Are probably two of my biggest. Scott Bestel. I'm not sure if any of them went to Berklee, but Victor Furtado, I really love what he does, and he's a Berklee grad, and he really inspired me to start learning clawhammer banjo. So that's
Gotcha.
but yeah.
Are you familiar with Tony Furtado?
Yes, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he and his band just played here a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We've been doing concerts here in New Haven, Hamden for 19 years, so we've had a lot of people, and he just played with his band with Matt Finner and Luke Price. They're pretty amazing. They all stayed over too. We like to put the musicians up here because I know traveling when you're young and you're on the road, it's expensive, and you're not making tens of thousands of dollars. So any little help is good.
Yeah, we love it when venues do that. It's the most helpful thing. We love doing that for bands that pass through Evanston. We always offer to put them up. There's a great bluegrass venue right next to our house, so it works
Nice.
out great.
So are you in contact with Joe Walsh there too at Berkeley, the
Yeah,
mandolin player and teacher? I mean, I know you don't play mandolin, and he teaches mandolin, but he's been there teaching a long time. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorite people too.
I haven't had the chance to work with him at Berkeley yet, but I've met him a whole bunch of times and he's a really awesome guy. So hoping that I'll get to at some point for these next couple of years.
Yeah. So it's funny because I had prepared a lot of my questions about guitar. I wasn't sure you were both coming on, so I'm kind of winging it with the banjo part. But I play guitar, I play mandolin too, but I love bluegrass guitar, and my bluegrass guitar hero was always Tony Rice, as it was for many people, and still
Sure.
is. Um, who's your favorite guitar player?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to pick just one. I mean, Tony Rice is of course up there for me. One of the first guitarists that I was really into that like really influenced my playing, I'd say, is Doc Watson.
Mm.
He's always been a big favorite of mine. I love like a lot of more modern players, like Molly Tuttle is a huge inspiration of mine. Same with Avril Smith. I've been working with Jake Workman lately, so he's been a big influence on my playing recently. I've been taking lessons with him. There's so many awesome players.
Do you study in person with Jake, or do you do Zoom
Over
lessons, or
Zoom. We've been doing
over
some
Zoom?
lessons, yeah.
Yeah, he was on the podcast too. He's quite a guitar player.
That he is. It's crazy watching him in our lessons. It's like, how do you think of these things? And it's just like on the fly, like some of the craziest licks I've heard in my life. And it'll
Yeah.
just be like random noodling for him.
Do you think you'll ever want to play as fast as he does? I mean, he's certainly associated with fast playing. I mean, he can play slowly too, but he's one of these guys. There's a few that really can whip it on the guitar, and he's certainly at the top of the list. Is that one of your goals, to be able to play as fast as Jake?
I mean, I'd love to at some point in life. Who wouldn't want to be able to play like that? It would be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I would love to. Yeah.
This is mostly
I've been
on the songwriting
I've been
side.
doing a lot of things. I do a lot of different things within the band. So I don't know if that's the main priority right now. I've been very into songwriting lately, and I'm a voice principal at Berklee, so that's been my main focus there. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to get to songwriting because I know you do write together. You write songs together, right?
yeah, we do. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Writing.
Mm-hmm.
Is is one of you the kind of the main songwriter in the band, or do you?
I am. Yes.
You are, okay. So you do lyrics and music. You come up with an idea and you flesh it out yourself with no help from your sister?
She's more of a songwriter. I'm more of the instrumental writer for the band.
Yeah,
so
she writes
Gotcha.
tunes.
yeah, she does better with lyrics than I do.
Yeah. Are you guys, so you're not really like competitive about songwriting. You kind of accept that.
No,
No, not at all. Yeah, wherever the song comes from, it's great. And I've been doing a lot of co-writes with other people too, so that's also been a really cool experience and a new world to be a part of.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch her songwriting journey over the years. She's really grown as a writer, so it's been fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, the co-writing is interesting because I know everybody does it. I know a lot of people have moved to Nashville who are songwriters and end up writing with other people when they're there, just because that's just the way they do it. I've had, I know you've written with John Weisberger. He's been on the podcast a couple of times talking about songwriting. It's a fascinating world of how people, everybody seems to have their own way of coming up with a song.
Yeah, they do. And it's cool to write with other people who have different ways of coming up with their songs. Because then it's like I leave that meeting and it's a song that I never would have written on my own just because it's somebody else's ideas and process too. So it's very cool.
He told me that he thinks of himself as more of the editor of a song that's being written. Like somebody like you might come up with an idea or a melody or a chord progression or a lyric and bring it in, and he says, well, I'd like to see what they've done, and I like to try to kind of fix it, if you want to put it that way. He says, I'm not really an idea guy. I'm an editor kind of song. Would that your experience with him at all, or?
Yeah, we have a couple of songs that we've written together that are going to be on our upcoming album, one of which is actually coming out next week on August 28th, a song that he and I wrote together. And that one, it was mostly from scratch. I brought him an idea, just a song hook called Good Time to Say Goodbye, and then we fleshed it out together. So that was a lot of fun. But there are some other songs that we've written where I've brought him like an entire chorus, and I'm like, hey, I would love help writing the rest of this song. So we definitely do a lot of that in our writing.
And that's also on Zoom, like you're not writing in the same room.
That's on Zoom, yeah.
Do you find, well, maybe that's the only way they do it now, but do you find that Zoom co-writing is, I don't know, somehow more difficult because you're not like getting the vibe of the person sitting right next to you as you're writing, or are you just used to doing it that way?
I'm pretty used to doing it that way. That's what most of my co-writes have been, because most of the industry writers don't live in Boston and don't come through Boston Awesome. So that's mostly what I'm used to. And it's nice because it means I don't have to leave my apartment and I have my nice little songwriting setup there. So it's very convenient and fun for me. But it's always nice when I do get to write in person with people and feel that energy in the room. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about your band, because I know you're the oldest person in the band, correct?
I am not now, actually.
Oh, you're not.
Our mandolin player is a couple of months older than me. So
Oh, but
yeah,
you're a pretty young band. I mean,
we
in terms
are.
of the music. So
Yeah.
who's in your band now? I mean, I've read the article, but people who are listening might not know about your band and what your band's plans are, recording plans, touring plans, all that. I know there's a lot going on.
So we are a 5-piece band currently. Our fiddle player is Finn McGinnis. He is 17 years old. He is also about to start as a freshman at Berklee. And yeah, he's really awesome. He lives part-time in Chicago. That's how we met him here. And part-time on an island off the coast of Maine, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, which island? Which island?
It's called Islesford. It's
Oh.
right off the coast of Acadia, so it's very beautiful there.
Oh,
Yeah.
because my daughter lives on Deer Isle, which is very close to there. It's near Stonington. It's a little south of Acadia, but it's
Yeah, nice.
an island off the coast of Maine. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
Islesford is right next to Great Cranberry Island. So
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then our mandolin player is Gabe Zinzer. He is 21 and he is a student at Belmont University in Nashville. And he is from Nantucket Island, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So very northeastern band we've got now.
Yeah.
And then our bass player is the youngest member of the band. This is Stephen Mougin. He is 16
Yeah.
still, and he is in high school outside of Nashville.
Oh. And then his father is your producer?
Yeah.
Yes, Stephen.
Yeah. Wow. So during the school year, which is about to start, you said you're going to head up to Boston soon.
Tomorrow
morning.
Tomorrow. So between tomorrow and mid-May, you don't really have much chance to perform as a band, I would think, because you're in two separate places and can't really get together and rehearse and stuff. Is that correct?
We do what we can. Yeah, we can't do full tours and or smaller shows, but we have a couple of exciting things coming up. We do as much as we can and fly back and forth. So we'll be at IBMA all week in Chattanooga coming up in October, and we've got a whole bunch of showcases there. And then we'll do some album release shows when that comes out in February. And then this has actually just been announced, but we're going to be official showcase artists at Folk Alliance International in January. So the whole band is going to be flying out to Chicago for that, which will be a lot of fun. So it's we can't do as much performing, but we still do what we can.
Yeah. Do you two still perform as a duo ever? It's kind of a leading question. I'm just because I'm wondering. We're 2 hours from Boston here in Hamden, Connecticut, right outside of New Haven, and we do have concert series going all year long, mostly house concerts.
We do perform as a duo. Yeah, we do that a lot when we can't. If it's a show that's can't bring the full band out or their scheduling doesn't work, then yeah, we totally love doing duo shows.
Yeah, we do what we can with as many members as possible. We do duo shows, sometimes trio shows with our fiddle player, and that'll be great because he'll be at Berklee with us. So
yeah.
Well, I might be pursuing that later.
Would love to.
This winter, that would be fun.
Definitely.
So I was listening to some of your stuff on YouTube, obviously, and I was listening to the song "Devil's Got a Hold on Me," which you wrote.
Yeah, I wrote that one with a little help from her, but yeah,
that was our first ever co-write, actually. Sisters,
yeah.
Tell me about that song, because it's kind of written almost like a classic bluegrass, tragic kind of. Do you know what I mean? It has that feel about it. It has that mood about it. So was that were you trying to create some sort of a classic kind of melancholy, murderous, tragic sound in there? I don't know. It just had that vibe to me.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's a very common theme in bluegrass and old time. That was kind of meant to be more old timey. I think I had been listening to a lot of Gillian Welch right before that, some Caleb Meyer. I feel like that has a very similar vibe. Kind of sounds upbeat, but then it's just about someone dying. It's a little dark, but that one was really fun to write. It was right after I had started experimenting with old time banjo instead of bluegrass banjo. So that was, yeah, it was a good time. And then I brought it to her when it was, 70% finished, and she just helped me finish it. So yeah. It was
Yeah.
great to work together.
So when you write, either of you, do you usually come up with like a melodic thing first, like a melody chord pattern necessarily, or does it depend on some lyric might come to your mind and say, that's a good lyric for a song?
I usually start with lyrics. I don't know about you, Lucia, but I'm a very lyric focused person. When I'm listening to songs, the lyrics is always what draws me in and makes me interested in a song. And that's usually what I'm listening for. So when I'm writing songs, I have a giant list on my phone of different phrases that I think are interesting or different ideas for lyrics or titles of songs. So when I'm writing, I'll usually go through that list and I'll pick one that I think is interesting, and then I'll write starting off of that lyric idea.
Oh,
And then from there, I
that.
build melody and chords around that.
Hmm. And you have a different way of writing? Well, let me
Uh,
ask you this first. So a song like that, do you write that on the banjo? Because the banjo almost like seems like it's easier to get that kind of old timey, Caleb Meyer kind of vibe because it just lends itself to that.
yeah. I think for that song, I did come up with that banjo instrumental line before I came up with the words. So then after I came up with that, I just started kind of jamming out on the song. And then that kind of like gave me an idea for a cool chord progression. And then I think the words came after that.
So do you have an album out now with the Sullivan Sisters band, or is a new one coming out, first one coming out? I want to be clear about that.
Yeah, the first one we signed to Dark Shadow Recording in September. And so since then, we've been down there in Nashville recording our first ever album. We have an EP out that's just the duo right now. That's called Carolina Bluebird. But our first full-length album with the full band is going to be out in February. That will be with Dark Shadow Recording. So we have
Nice.
2 singles off of that released so far, and our next one will be out on August 28th.
Mm-hmm. So when you're this is for both of you, but when you're playing in the band, who do you key off of for the rhythmic groove or pocket? I mean, or maybe you said it, I don't know. I ask a lot of musicians this, and some say, well, I key off the bass or I key off the rhythm guitar. Um, so Soraya, I'll ask you first. I mean, Soraya, I just want to call you Soraya. So when you're in the band, like who's setting the rhythmic groove for you when you're playing along? You?
I feel like I listen to the bass a lot, and then we've been doing a lot of rehearsing with Stephen, and he's been having us do this really interesting thing where we go around just to get the groove and just on one chord, and he has us listening to the banjo to set the groove.
The straight 16th
Which
notes
is
really
something
help
that never would have occurred to me otherwise, but I've been doing that now, and that's actually really helpful to just have like every single beat laid down for me.
Interesting.
So that's been a new thing, which has been really
So you play on one chord just for a while, just to kind of get the
Yep.
groove going.
Set a metronome, and it starts with the banjo just rolling, and then what comes in after that is
I don't remember.
I don't remember what comes in after that, but we'll come in one at a time and just make sure that however many instruments are playing are just completely locked in with each other before adding in the next instrument.
Yeah, because that's one of our main focuses during live performances, is just all making sure we're in the same groove and staying
In the
together.
pocket,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So really the banjo is driving the rhythm
It really is,
in
yeah.
that band. Yeah. I mean, I guess a good banjo player who's prominent in the mix is going to drive a band for better or for worse, because you can't not hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also definitely motivated me to keep practicing with the Met as much as I can, because now there's a little more pressure. So
Yeah. I love that idea because I teach some bluegrass classes up here, and I have students that are various abilities and stuff, but that is a great technique, what you're describing. Just start out on a chord and have one come in and then another, and just because that's the biggest problem, I think, for people learning bluegrass is the rhythm. The guitar players are strumming all over the place, and like doing folk strums and too much, and there's always way too much noise going on.
yeah.
But that technique that's a great idea.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
I feel like what it really helps is it just makes sure that everybody listens to each other, which I feel like is so important, and it doesn't happen enough. So everyone is really hearing everybody else instead of just focusing on what they're playing. So that really helps a lot.
Yeah, that's That's true. Everyone is so worried about how they're sounding that they're not listening to anybody.
Yeah.
And of course and then it's like, yeah. So these days, there's a lot of music that's kind of under the bluegrass umbrella, I would say. Um, are there limits to what you consider bluegrass, or is that not even an important descriptive word to you anymore? Bluegrass. Is it just acoustic music or?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I would definitely call our sound bluegrass and like pretty like straight ahead bluegrass. But yeah, the definition of what bluegrass is has definitely been expanding recently, especially with people like Billy Strings really pushing the genre further into the mainstream.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to see that happen. And yeah, I guess it does become hard to define what you really call bluegrass.
So how would you define it if you could? Is it, I mean, part of it is the instrumentation, right? I mean, if you have a banjo, fiddle, guitar, bass, mandolin, it's probably going to sound kind of bluegrassy. But is there a way to define bluegrass in your view, or how you define it, or is it just what you play?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I guess I know
I'm
a
not
lot
trying to stump you here. I'm just
Oh
curious.
yeah, it's interesting to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been interesting talking to different people because there are some people that just refuse to accept, the newer things like jamgrass as bluegrass because they say if it's not how Earl played it, that's not bluegrass. But I don't know. I feel like all the newer kind of branches of bluegrass are definitely still very cool things, all this jamgrass and fusion-y kind of thing. So I think, yeah, it's definitely expanded, but all of those different branches still classify as bluegrass for us. I feel like it's just cool to watch everyone kind of take the idea of bluegrass and kind of do their own thing with it. So it's definitely been changing a lot.
Because like outside of the instrumentation, you're right, it's like a very hard thing to define the sound of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when the famous Tony Rice speech at IBMA, when he supposedly had his voice back and was talking about what bluegrass is and what it sounds like. And he did put it in nice terms that it's a wide world, but it still has the sound of what bluegrass always was and is. It kind of has to have that. And how you define that, I don't know. But it seems like I guess it's like one of those things, when you hear it, you know.
Yeah, completely. I
that it's
mean, what I
bluegrass.
like so much about it is just how tradition based it is as a genre. Like even the people who are taking it to like new crazy directions right now, just everybody grew up listening to the old classics and playing the old classics. And even if they do new stuff now, it's still very rooted in that and very appreciative of that, which I think is a really cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up Billy Strings, which is a podcast does not go by without somebody talking about Billy Strings, because, he's everywhere. And he's very modest about his success. But I mean, honestly, his music is so traditional. I mean, he has pedals and blah, 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 but almost most of what he plays is stuff that Doc Watson could or would have played or did play. He's a very traditional bluegrass guitar player and singer, even though he goes out in other directions. And I think that's why he's been accepted by the bluegrass world as much as he has, because he's not just this wild kid like playing, whatever, Weezer and I don't know, whatever else. He's playing a lot of classic bluegrass in his own way.
Yeah.
Do you guys do covers like that in your set, or will you, or are you going to stick to mostly original stuff when?
The original stuff is very new for us. For a long time, I mean, we've been performing since we were probably like 8. We started performing not long after we started playing. So for a long time, our sets were completely traditionals and like with some like more modern covers. But yeah, we grew up really just playing that old stuff. And so we still do a lot of those covers in our sets now.
Yeah. Do you two switch off lead vocals in the band or in the duo, or does one of you kind of primarily the lead in one harmony? Or
she does most of our lead singing. I sing lead on 3 or 4 songs, but yeah, I'm mostly the harmony singer, which I like. I'm more comfortable doing all the banjo stuff.
Mm-hmm. So playing as a band versus a duo, what do you like better about either one of those? Because I know it's a very different vibe when there's 2 people on stage. I mean, solo is solo, right? You're on your own. You're nowhere to hide. With a duo, you got a little bit of back and forth. You can cover for each other. You're doing two vocals, two instruments. Then a band is a whole different thing where you've got all the stuff going on, and you really have to, as you say, you have to kind of listen and calm things down because it can get overwhelming. So what is it about duo that you like? I mean, you're sisters, so I guess it's nice you can just play and sing together, right?
It's really fun. Yeah, I feel like we kind of have a sisterly intuition going because we've been performing together for so long. It's like if one person needs like the other person to cover them for something or like needs to change something mid-song, we can just kind of give each other a look and pick up on that instantly in a way that no matter how close you are with three more people, that's just not really going to happen. And then it's also fun because we get to do like a lot more slow, pretty songs than we do as a full bluegrass like band. We love doing like slow country songs and Americana stuff, and I write a lot of that too. So we get to experiment with more of that in our duo shows, which is always fun.
Yeah, and then the new thing with the band that's been really fun is just kind of exploring all the different arrangements that we can do. Having three more people, that gives us a lot of freedom. So it's been really fun just having that amount of energy with a bigger band and just being able to really experiment with like instrumental jam sections, and
It's
just
so
a lot
much
of fun
fun.
stuff. So
It's
that's
so
been really
awesome.
great for us, just having that variety in
Yeah.
our live show.
Yeah. Do you have favorite duo songs that you have been doing for a long time that you love, like certain songs that just like you love to perform? Can
We
you name
do.
a couple? What are
Yeah.
they?
I love Irene by Amanda Ann Platt and the Honeycutters. They're
Mm.
an Asheville-based band, and Amanda Ann Platt, she is one of my favorite songwriters. So we've been playing that song. I think it was one of the very first songs we ever learned when she was 6 and I was 8. So we have been performing that one for a really long time, and I still love doing it so much.
Mm.
We really like Ashley McBride. We love A Little Dive Barndoloniga is a really pretty song that we love.
It's
love
one of those
playing.
country songs that we love doing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Do you guys have to practice harmony, or does it come naturally when you're singing? Like you're so used to singing together, it just you find that you sing the melody, you find the part, and it just goes.
Yeah.
I've kind of grown up just picking out tenor harmonies above her, so that kind of comes naturally to me now.
Yeah.
We definitely have to practice it when we add a third part with the five-piece band because that's something we're not used to. But it's always really harmony really comes naturally to the two of us. We kind of have the sisterly thing going on.
It's great. I mean, there was a point in time when we were really little when we'd have to practice it because we were just learning how to sing and how to do harmonies. But it's been so long now that it's just kind of second nature.
Yeah. I find that singing or having people sing harmony below a female lead. Now you've got two females singing melody and tenor. So if there's a third part below that, I find that very challenging. And people that I know who play and who I teach find it very challenging too. Like because with two parts, you have a lot of freedom. You can go third, fifth above. You can kind of move around. With three parts, you kind of have to follow. I mean, if you want to not step on each other, you have to kind of follow a thing, a practice
It definitely
thing.
takes some more thought. So we've had to sit down with the boys in our band and like actually work out what each person is singing at all times. So yeah, it takes more practice, but we're lucky the boys in our band are great singers. So it's always really fun to do, and we all love getting to sing harmony. So yeah, it feels more just like sitting around picking than it does really rehearsing, which is nice.
Yeah. So when you're at Berklee, well, you've been at Berklee. So in your free time, are you spending a lot of time with your fellow musicians, classmates, jamming, or you like to go out and do a little partying too, or is it a mixture of? I mean, it is college,
there's a
so
healthy balance in life.
it's a healthy balance.
Yeah, we love to have jams. I'm lucky my apartment has really thick walls, so we can host jams there, and it's a tiny, tiny space, but we can cram a whole bunch of people in and pick late into the night, which is fun. And we always getting to do that. My roommate is also a bluegrass musician, so that's been really nice. But then it's also such a cool city and still a new city to me, so I love getting to go out and explore the city and see things and yet have a normal college experience. So
Yeah.
there's a good balance.
So looking ahead, which is hard to do, but let's say in 5 years or even less, I mean, obviously you want to get through school at some point, and you want to get this album's coming out. You want to be touring on the album. Do you have a long-term goal, like 5 years or 4 years down the road? You just want to have your band going and writing and singing, performing, and just being a regular old band touring and try to make it in the music world? Is that your?
I think that's the goal. Yeah. In an ideal world, we would graduate college and be able to start touring full time.
Mhm.
My personal goal is to move down to Nashville after I graduate and make a living there, songwriting and performing. So
Mhm.
we'll see. But yeah, just to keep performing as a band.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Nashville is kind of like the Mecca.
It really
That
is. And our label
um,
is there, so it just makes so much sense to be
you
down
kind of
there.
have to go there. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Looking back in musical history, who would you, either of you and both of you, who have loved to play with, um, just hanging around on the couch for a couple hours, maybe
Mm.
just you and somebody else in the history of the bluegrass or other music? Anyone you uh, would have enjoyed doing that with?
Ooh, let's see. For me, anyone from Lonesome River Band, because just something
Mm.
about the way, or Blue Highway, just something about
Also,
the
like
way that
modern bands.
they balance each other out as a band and the way that they like fill up the spaces with different fills and everything. Something about that has just always really amazed me. And I think it would be great to just learn a thing or two from them all, just about, playing together as a band and how to fill each other out as a, in sound. I don't know.
Nice
Um,
banjo led band, right?
yeah,
LRB.
no, Sammy
Yeah.
Sheeler is definitely one of the kings. So
We at one point, Brandon Rickman, who was the singer of that band for a while, lead singer and guitarist, came up here and did a solo show. And he ended up sitting there on the stool drinking beer all night and just singing Hank Williams and George Jones songs for like 2 hours.
that sounds awesome.
He had the voice for it, and he kept drinking beer. And I couldn't figure out how he could keep playing and singing and drinking so much beer, but he did, and he just he nailed every song. He had that plaintive, the crack voice thing, and oh man,
That's
man.
great.
That's so cool.
it was
Love to
fun. Yeah,
hear that.
yeah, I know. I wish I had recorded it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like you had a fun night.
It was a fun night. Yeah, it was a fun night. How about you, Soraya? Anybody that you would have liked to just hang out with nobody else around, just play some music and talk?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I mean, Doc Watson and Tony Rice are kind of the obvious two for me for guitar. But then I also really love like old singers. So like there are some country people that I would have loved the chance to hear or play with. Like Loretta Lynn is a big one for me. Like
Mhm.
Hazel Dickens, those old ballads of hers I love. And like Maybelle Carter would have also been amazing to see her like rhythm, guitar, and everything. There are so many. It's so hard to pick just
Yeah,
The list goes on.
the list goes on and on and on.
it goes on.
Mhm.
Actually, Alice Gerard came on the podcast
Oh,
last year,
awesome.
and
Wow.
she had so many stories about they used to have these well, they were kind of like a picnic. They would have these picnics, I guess, in Virginia, maybe at somebody, either Hazel Dickens' house or one of those, I don't know, one of those people. And so they would have a big picnic, and Bill Monroe would show up, the Stanley Brothers would show up, all these people would show up and just play and sing and drink and eat for hours and hours. And she was unbelievable. I think she's what, like 92 or something now, and still
Something like that.
performing. And
I had the chance to see her last year at the Blue Ridge Guitar Camp. I got to see her perform, and then I got to meet her and talk to her for a while, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, she is the coolest lady.
was there ever a time when you got to play with somebody or perform with somebody in your band life, and you kind of had to pinch yourself and say, "Wow, I'm playing with, I'm right next to Bella Fleck, or I'm sitting next to, I don't know." Any of those moments happen with you, either of you?
Well,
Totally.
we finally got to jam with Billy Strings a couple years ago.
That was a big one
That
of
was
those.
definitely inspiring.
Yeah, we ended up in a hotel room jamming with him and a small circle of our other friends for most of the night, which was definitely one of those pinch me moments. Like just
Yeah.
looking over and Billy Strings is just taking a solo right there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a big one.
Yeah, that's fun. I got to play with Jens Kruger of the Kruger Brothers, who's
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my favorite banjo players, and so that was really fun. I got to sit in with Sister Sadie a couple months ago, and that was definitely inspiring, just being surrounded with, women in bluegrass, which is a really cool thing to see. So yeah, they're very inspiring people to me.
Yeah, I love Sister Sadie. Their fiddle player Deanie is just like the most kick-ass fiddle player that exists in the world. She just
That's great.
she's unbelievable.
Mhm.
They're all great players and singers, but she like just is a real driver.
Something about her
Really.
stage presence, it's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, she just seems like I'm just gonna kick this band along. I don't care what you think about me or how I look. We're gonna get the groove going, and she does. You know, she's bowing down, jumping around, and the band is like, okay, I guess we better play at her level.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah. Is there anything? Wow, we've covered a lot here. Anything else that you'd like to talk about before we end? You talked about your album coming out.
Yeah. Not that I can.
Talked about your studies.
Yeah.
I think we're both just really excited to see how this next chapter of us both being at the same school together is going to change our sound and help it grow. So that's going to be, we're really looking forward to that.
Completely,
Definitely.
yeah. And then if listeners want to check us out anywhere, our social medias are all under Sullivan Sisters Bluegrass, and our streaming platforms are all the Sullivan Sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a bunch more singles coming out over the next couple of months that we're just really excited for everyone to hear. So
Yeah. Well, I really hope you guys can perform down here in Hamden. Well, for you, it's out here, but it's down here from Boston. It's a short drive. I made it. My daughter went to college here, so I've made the drive many times.
Yeah.
It's an easy one. So we'll be in touch about that. But I thank you both. Sounds like you really have a good handle on the whole thing here.
Well, thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us.
this was a lot of fun. It was great talking to you.
Yep, you too. I hope to see you in the future in real life somewhere.
Yes,
Totally,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay, take care.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
You
Have
too.
a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed our podcast, and thanks for listening. Visit our website, guitartownct.com, for concert and podcast schedules, or just to send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.